Hey everybody, it's Kathy, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about stress and your emotions and what it actually does physically in the body. Your emotions are intricately tied in to stress and to the way that we're feeling and everything else. So I just want to show you what some of these things do in your body and how you yourself have the capacity to really help your body to be able to feel better simply by the way that you think. Now, what you see behind me is a picture of neurons. So these are what neurons look like in your brain. They kind of look like trees. And those trees are in the outer cortex of the brain, kind of like a football helmet around your brain. So when you think something, when you think a thought, whether it's a good thought or a negative thought, that thought goes in through your senses and it's called a breeze through the trees. So it breezes through these neurons in your brain and it either finds a positive memory or a negative memory, a negative thought or a positive thought, and then it actually sends electrochemical responses to another part of your brain that's called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus then acts to send responses to the pituitary gland, which sends responses to your adrenal gland. So we're going to talk about what's called the HPA axis here. So just know that these neurons that are in your brain, these are called dendrites. And the dendrites are actually, these are the neurons, and the dendrite is actually the trees that are on the end of them. Now, when you look at this picture, these are positive memories. These tall looking trees are positive memories. These gnarled, snaggly bushes down here, these are negative memories, and they do not communicate very well with the rest of your mind. So it really is very, very good to have a positive outlook on life, to be able to have different ways of thinking and really have positive people around your life. These essential oils that we're talking about, these wonderful emotions oils, help your brain to be able to function differently. Now, that doesn't say that using the essential oils is going to change everything in your life. Like this one is called Forgive. And forgive, I'm going to forgive Pam's phone for ringing right now, is what I'm going to do. Thank you for that so much, for not turning your phone off. But, not to say that this essential oil is going to help you forgive, but I think that Jesus is pretty much that helps you forgive, right? So these essential oils put your mind in a good state, where they're either able to uplift you, which the invigorating blend does, to calm you down, which the serenity blend does, and it works very, very well with these places in your brain. Now, I'm going to show you another slide here. This is actually called the HPA axis. H standing for hypothalamus, P standing for pituitary, and A standing for your adrenal gland. Okay? So here's your brain up here. A thought comes in, a memory comes in, and get this, guys, even an aroma comes in. So this is how essential oils work through aromatherapy. It finds that breeze through the trees in the cortex of your brain, and then it sends this chemical, this electrochemical response to your hypothalamus, which is right in the middle of your brain. Your hypothalamus then sends, okay, if this is stress related or fear related, this sends a chemical called CRH to the pituitary gland, which is also in the middle of your brain up here. And then the pituitary gland sends another hormone called ACTH to your adrenal glands. Now, your adrenal glands sit right on top of your kidneys. So they're like in your lower back area, way back here. You may have heard of adrenal fatigue. All right? True or false? All stress is the result of fear. She's nodding yes. All stress is the result of fear. And stress is actually a really good response, because when we're running from a tiger, I'm coming back. Don't worry, I'm coming back. But when we're running for a tiger, God created this stress response in us to be able to react that quickly and have this rush of adrenaline and this rush of cortisol to our body to help us be able to get away from that which might be harming us. But when we are under stress and when we are busy and when we are doing all the time, when we have this stress in our life all the time, this HPA axis is on all the time, releasing these hormones. Now look at this. CRH is secreted from the hypothalamus. It's a neuropeptide of negative emotions. So when we have stress all the time, that's going to be going all the time if we have that negative emotion around what we're doing. ACTH, it drips to that pituitary in response to CRH. And these are peptides of fear. ACTH is called the peptide of fear. And then these stress hormones, they change the body. They change the way that our blood sugar is. They change our cholesterol. They suppress the immune system. They deplete the bones. They cause electrolyte imbalances in our body. And many of you may have heard that cortisol is like a poison in the body. So if you have high cortisol levels, you are going to have a decreased immune system, and you're just not going to feel well all the time. You're also going to have a lot of inflammation in the body. So one of the best things to do, guys, is to work on those emotions that are causing all of this stress and to literally slow down. Rest. I think it's in the Bible, right? Psalm 46:10. Rest. It tells us to rest all over the Bible. So to be able to just calm our body down and let it do what it's supposed to do and not have this, we've all heard of chronic fatigue syndrome. Guess who causes chronic fatigue syndrome? We do. And it is very much in our own ability to be able to not have chronic fatigue syndrome. How about fibromyalgia? We've heard of fibromyalgia. When we are stressed all the time and there's tension in our body all the time, and we go to a doctor and they don't have any other reason for why we're stressed and our body hurts all the time. So they call this thing fibromyalgia, which is a real condition in the brain, but I believe that it's way, way, way overused, overdiagnosed by physicians, and a lot of it is because of this HPA axis, which causes stress in our body, and we can work on this. Look at this woman in the middle. Have any of you ever felt like her? The effects of toxic thoughts and emotions, and negative emotions on the body is this. Our cardiovascular system, high blood pressure, angina, coronary artery disease, strokes, aneurysm. Look at the immune system, and I did not list everything on here. Everything from Hashimoto's to asthma, fibromyalgia, chronic inflammation. All of these are caused by the effects of stress on the body. Now we've got the effects on the nervous system, depression and phobias, panic attacks. All of these things that we consider to be emotions are actually maybe a direct result of our own toxic thinking and our own emotions. Pain, muscle tension is already in there. Brain fog. Anybody with brain fog? Did you know that working on your gut helps brain fog more than anything else? So when you have a healthy digestive system, which guess what is also a problem with our toxic thoughts and our emotions, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, cramping, ulcers, leaky gut syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome. Have you ever thought that your emotional life, how associated it is with your physical responses? We usually don't associate those two things. But when you look at the reality of the HPA axis and these hormones that are literally, they're good when we're running from a tiger, okay? They're good when we need to snatch our child out from in front of a car that's coming, okay? But when we're under stress all the time, we are going to start to have these negative effects on the body. So here's the deal, guys. Think negative, toxic thoughts, and you're going to release toxic chemicals into your body. Think positive, life-giving thoughts, and you are going to release positive, life-giving chemicals into your body. And these little essential oils, Claricalm, Serenity, Cheer, Balance, all of these wonderful things that we're talking about today are not only going to help with your emotional life, but they can also help with your spiritual life as well, because they bring you into that place where you can believe the truth and the trust about who Jesus is. Okay? So there is a lot that goes into this. Not only physical life, your emotional life, but also your spiritual life is affected. And these essential oils, which God created to work not only in your body, but also in your brain, because they are very, very small molecular substances which cross that blood-brain barrier, are so effective for our behavioral health. I hope that you learned a lot from this, and I hope that you